Good morning, peace, power, and profit. Everybody. All right. This one's going to be good. So, I have a lot of information to share. Let me just get this copied out real quick. And we're going to get it started. I'm going to do my best to see if I can kind of cover it and not lose anybody. And hopefully, you guys have questions you can ask. You want to get on the panel? Just inbox me on the messenger. We'll make it happen. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. Let me make sure I got everything I need. I think I have everything I need, but I didn't. Let me stop sharing for a second. Get myself the link just in case somebody try to get in. Hold on, y'all. Somebody. My bad, y'all. Somebody called my phone. Give me 1 second to get my link done. I forgot to do that part. So I need to. Oh gosh. Hold on a second. Get this darn link. Give me a minute. And I'll get started. Give y'all some good information just in case you guys haven't filed yet and you trying to didn't really understand it and you want to make sure you understand it. Let's see if we can make this happen. All right, I'm gonna resume the sharing and then I'm gonna go to the restroom and then I get started. Because I increase my water intake and so gotta make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. All right. So this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'll give you the rundown, and either you know somebody or are you eligible? One of the two. Good. All right. So give me 1 second. We're gonna cover the employee retention credit, and I'll give you the tax credit, and we're gonna do the 941X. So stay tuned, stand by. I'm gonna let you listen to some news real quick until I get myself together. I gotta go to the restroom again till I get my little self together. Okay, so I'll let you listen to some stock news until I come right back.
Concerted effort to try and bring those yields down. Markets, are they listening as much as the Bank of England wants them to just yet? Will this take some time to price in? We'll see where that one goes to. Kering, the luxury goods company, up by 3.5% their share price today. This as a result of some speculation that some M&A could be taking place here, Chrissy. Could they do a deal for Tom Ford? Could they buy Tom Ford? Markets actually suggesting this could be quite a positive. Analysts suggesting it could be a positive. Is the stock moving on that? Or is it, though, the read across from the China story? That has typically been pretty strong strong, of course, for luxury companies. Chrissy.
You know, Anna, it's interesting that you mentioned the M&A story specifically, because sometimes those simple capital flows that you're seeing cross Atlantic can also drive flows in the FX space. I'm sure Stephen Englander, Standard Chartered head of global G10 FX research and North American macro strategy, knows all about it. But Stephen, I want to start with a different story, and that, of course, is what's going on right here in the States. There seemed to be this idea that there could be a bear case for the dollar forming if the terminal rate for the Fed does indeed stall out, in turn boosting equities as well in its wake. Now that you perhaps aren't necessarily seeing that, or a little bit of delay in repricing, is the bear case for the dollar dead?
I don't think it's dead. And I think if you look at the BBDXY chart, what you've seen is that, you know, every time the dollar gets close to 1350, it really begins to struggle and bounces down. There's a lot of very good news that's already priced in. The Fed is part of the story. And again, I think, you know, the market was a little puzzled by Powell's hawkishness. He had only one CPI and one payrolls report between the September numbers. And
all right, let's get it started. Okay, y'all, I'm back. All right, let's go. All right, so let me stroll up a little bit. If I was you, I'd get my paper and my pen. My paper and my pen. All right. So how do you determine the eligibility? All right. So if you receive, let me see something real quick. Hold on one second. All right, cool. So if you're interested, if you had employees and you had to shut down and all that good stuff, and you heard about employee retention tax credit, and you're not necessarily sure if you are eligible or not, if you had some payroll, then you're eligible. So let's talk about it. All right. So now the guidance you want to look for, if you go to the IRS, you want to look for that the tax credit. There's some paperwork on it, right? So qualified wages. Qualified wages mean wages and compensation paid to employees and subject to FICA tax plus qualified health plan expenses. So some companies pay health insurance and some do not. Then it's for full-time employees. Employee definition for earned employee retention tax credit. Anyone over 30 hours per week or 130 hours per month. Do not include part-time employees for determining if you have 100 employees. Relate entities are treated as a single employer. All right, let's keep the party rolling. Can you get it if you receive PP? Yes. It's all about those dates, baby, right? Start being eligible when? The first quarter that gross receipts are less than 50% from the same quarter in the previous year. All right? Gross receipts are 80% or less of the same quarter in 19, or last quarter was 80% or less in gross receipts over the same quarter in 19. For quarter 3 and 4, you may be eligible without a gross receipt drop if you are a recovery startup business. All right. Stop being eligible when? So the quarter after gross receipts gets back to 80% of the same quarter in that year prior. The earlier of the quarter after the gross receipts gets back to 80% of the same quarter in 19, or September 30th, 2021. Amount of credit, 50% tax credit on qualified wages up to $10,000 per employee for the full year. Max tax credit is $5,000 per employee for the full year. 70% tax credit qualified in wages up to $10,000 per employee per quarter. In quarter 3 2021, if you are a severely financial distressed employer, you do not have a limit on the amount of wages that qualify. Whose wages must be excluded from qualified wages? All non-related full-time or part-time staff can be included. Family members must be excluded. Child or descendant, brother, sister, parent, or ancestors of a parent, niece, nephew, aunt, uncle, step-parents, and children, in-laws. 50% owners and spouses must be excluded. Available time frame. So this is your available time frame. Pay attention to the dates. March 13, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. January 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2021. Unless you are a startup business in distress for the fourth quarter of 2021. Calculate eligibility based on gross receipts. Revenue coming into your business before expenses are deducted. Do not include PPP, EIDL, or unemployment compensation. So here's how you work that. If you do not qualify based on a drop in gross receipts, you may still qualify for some wages paid while you were shut down or partially shut down. All right, so here's where it gets good. So good morning, peace, power, and profit for everybody who just tuned in. We're starting off with the employee retention tax credit. All right. If you would like this spreadsheet, you would have to send me a Cash App donation. But you can do this on your own. But if you would like it, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to donate some scholarship now. You can't just be out here just getting everything for free. You gotta do something for the peoples. Get your tax write-off. Donate to a scholarship. Donate to my scholarship fund. Okay? And then I'll send you the spreadsheet. All right. So let's do it. Let's say your gross receipts, I'm just going to random throw in some numbers, right? So the first thing you want to do, you got to make sure you get your revenues, your if you got your bank statements already broken out, if you have your revenues already broken out by month or by quarter, you could go ahead and you could sum them up, go in and put your totals in of what you earned. All right. If you using, hopefully you have a accounting system and you could pull these numbers out very easily. Or if you don't, then what you could do, you could go to your bank statement and pull out all the credits, and then you could add the numbers up to get your quarterly amount. So I'm just gonna throw in some numbers. I'm gonna throw in some numbers, right? Just to kind of help you out, just to show you how it actually works. I'm just randomly throwing in some numbers. I don't know your company situation, so just never mind the numbers. You'd have to give me some numbers and we could toss them in there, But I'm just gonna throw it just show you how it actually works. All right. So let's say that was my 2019 revenues that came into the company. So let's go to 2020. And we'll just put some numbers in. So notice over here on the right is showing my qualified quarters. I already have the built-in calculation for you to help you out, right? So we're gonna go to 2020, and then we will add in some numbers. So we know how this kind of worked out. The shutdown happened in the second quarter of 2020. I guess it was like March the 20. I mean, well, the payroll to qualify, we know it's going to go from March 13, 2020, all the way to September 21st, right? Unless you were distressed and then you can use the fourth quarter. So the wages, so we know when your company shut down, I think it was like April 1st. It could have been March, middle March, somewhere around that point, depending on what state you was in. All right. So we know you lost wages during that time period. And so if your wages, right, that you lost, and then I think we didn't open back up, but so many people didn't have a job, they wasn't spending money, maybe you lost your flow. So if you was contractual services and you was used to bringing in a certain dollar amount, you know, you lost all the way around, right? Then once the end of the year picked up, you start getting back on your feet just a little bit, not a lot, but enough. Okay. All right. So boom. So I put in the the revenues for 2020. And if you notice on the right, it would tell me my qualifying quarters. And that's because remember before the 2020, you have to have lost at least 50%. So let's scroll back down right here. You will see the first quarter, we only had lost 5.3%, but the next three quarters, we lost over 50 something percent. And you will notice it say you qualify for the fourth quarter because we'll keep going and you'll see how all that works out, right? So that's why we created the spreadsheet. Now let's move it over. So let's put in let's do 2021, and I'll just throw some numbers into 2021 for the wages. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have another sheet I could use. Okay, I'll just throw some in. Let's throw in some wages. So 2021, maybe you picked up, but not quite, not exactly. You start making a little money, things start rocking and rolling a little bit for you. I'm just gonna throw some numbers in so you can see how it works. To show so you can see, how this all kind of pans out for you. Right. So and see in 2021, just on those numbers, you will see that you don't qualify. Right. So let me get I got some other numbers I could use. Let me stop sharing. And I'm gonna put them both on the same screen so I can see. All right, so I have another scenario I could use so you can see how it works. Let's do it like that. Let's see, I could close this in a little bit. See if I'm gonna put them both on the same side by side. And you can see how we're gonna work it out. All right, let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna use my scenario on the left. Let me put you back on. All right. All right, so I'm gonna use my scenario on the left so I can show you. Okay, so this would be my gross receipts. And I'm gonna put them over here. So 2019, as you can see, This is it broken down by month, and then I'm gonna stroll down, and you can see it broken out by quarter. So I'm gonna put the numbers in, right? You would get your numbers, as I said, you would get, oh shoot, you would get your numbers from your either your bank statement or you have an accounting system, and you would put your numbers in. That you get your revenues, and you can look at the historical trend, and you could get your numbers by quarter, right? Your numbers may not be as high as the ones I'm using in an example. However, the concept is the same. All right. So that would be my 2019 numbers, right? Now I'm going to put in the 2020. Right. So good morning, Jermaine. Put that in. And then, all right. All right, cool.
How are you?
Hey, good morning. Just do a little earn employee retention tax credit this morning. All right, y'all. So let me move this over a little bit. See if I can move it over a little bit so you can see. All right, so now, so based off of this example here on the left, right? So the gross receipts by quarter for 19, which is I have on this side over here, and then 2020, right? So now you would see, when we determine the qualified quarters, you would see the qualified for the 2020 quarters for the wages, quarter 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now, let me go and get the 2021. Let's see, I got it right here somewhere. All right. I think this is 2021. Yep. So now those same gross receipts, the 19 numbers is going to stay the same. You're not going to don't change your numbers. Just come on over here and 21, and then put in your 2021 wages. All right. So you could create a spreadsheet on your own, or as I stated, if you want this one, you got employees and you wasn't quite sure if you qualified or not, and you want to use it, you're going to have to send my scholarship a donation. You send me a donation, I'll send it to you in the email. Put your email in the Cash App, and I'll give it to you, because I paid for it. You're going to have to donate to me in order to get it, if you want it. I have 2 separate styles, so I could send you both, and you could use whichever one you think that's beneficial to you. People learn different, so that's how that works. All right, so here we go. So I'm putting all my wages. All right, so you see my example. All right, so let's go back to this one by itself. So you will see, so it qualified for quarter 2, 3, 4 of 2020, and then quarter 1 and 3 of 2021 for the wages. All right, that's how that works. Makes it easy to put the math in for you. And the reason, let me go over a little bit. Right, so boom. And I've already read off the different scenarios. So that's why it's a little tedious and some people really don't understand it. You find your template that's already out there you could use to help you figure it all out, and boom, there you go. So now, here's the deal. Go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah. You mind if I ask, what is an ERTC?
Employment Retention Tax Credit. So if you had employees, let me go back to the right. If you had employees during the pandemic, during the shutdown, then you qualify and you pay taxes on it, your 941s, when you report it to the IRS, then you have the opportunity, that tax amount that you paid, they're going to give you some of that money back. So I'm going to get to that part.
I appreciate it.
In a second. Okay, no problem. All right, so again, so you're comparing 19, the money you made in 19 to 20 and 21 to determine which quarters you qualify for. All right, so boom. So these are the quarters they qualify for. So on the next tab, so here's the wages and how it all works out. All right. So again, we're talking about the employee retention tax credit qualified wages. All right. So move this over a little bit. All right. So for quarters in which you're qualified for the ERTC, see gross receipts tab. That's the one we just did, right? It'll tell you if you qualified or not. Input compensation and wages paid to employees, full-time and part-time, within those quarters. Do not include wages paid to with PPP money. You may have to bag this out of your wages paid for each employee to prevent double counting. Also, do not include wages where you have already claimed for the FFCRA COVID-19 paid sick and family leave credit. All right, so basically what they're saying right here, if you got PPP, right? Let's say you got PPP money and you put in your forgiveness application. It's all about the dates and payrolls that you use, right? And I'll explain it in a second. Qualified wages paid includes wages and compensation paid to employees, allocatable qualified health plan expenses. Some people have health plans expenses, some people don't. If full-time employees are greater than 100, right, or 500 for 2021, only include wages paid to employees for not working. If full-time employees is less than 100 or 500 or 2021, all wages paid to employees during the qualifying quarters can be considered qualifying wages, even if they were working for quarter 3 and 4 in 2021. You may qualify for employees retention credit even if you did not start a business until after February 15, 2020. All right. See 2021 eligibility, third quarter, fourth quarter tab. Note that your credit is limited to the max of $50,000 per quarter if you qualify as a recovery startup business. So even if you started your business after February 15, 2020, you still have the opportunity to get the tax credit if you pay wages. Note that unless you are a recovery startup business, you can no longer claim ERTC for the quarter 4, 2021 due to the infrastructure bill, which moved the end of ERTC up to September 30th, 2021 instead of December 31st, 2021. This spreadsheet, so it's for illustration, guys. This is educational purposes only. Hopefully you find it beneficial to you receiving the credit. All right, so here's how it is. Here's the next sheet, how it works. You have your employees, and these are the quarters. And remember, in the first scenario, right, we qualified for quarter 2, 3, 4 in 2020. So we'll work that out first. So let's go back. So just say employee 1. Let's just say for the quarter, we'll just throw some numbers in here. We do 3 people just to make it fun. All right. So as you can see, so when I put in, so what you would do, you pull your payroll records, right? Anything from March 13th to March the 31st, you put in quarter 1. Let's say you got PPP and your PPP, your forgiveness covered from April the 20th through September 3rd. So that means if you pay wages in March from the 13th to the 31st, that payroll is qualified. So you put those wages here. When you get to quarter 2, because your PPP forgiveness didn't start until, I think I said April 13th. So from April the 1st to April the 12th, any payroll that you paid in between that time, let's say you including, I'm just throwing numbers. right? So as long as you do not include the dates of your PPP forgiveness, you can put that wage in. Don't miss that. I missed that in the very first time when it came out. I was like, oh, so, we had PPP and we forgave quarter 2 and 3. I had to go back because the date that we forgave was in the middle of the month. So that meant anything prior to my forgiveness dates and anything after my forgiveness dates, if it was in my qualified quarter, we were authorized. And oh my goodness, we about to miss out on a whole lot. So I had to go back and do it, right? So here, so these are the, oh, wait a minute, let me see. So we're not qualified for 1, so I have to take that out. But we are qualified for 2, 3, and 4, all right? So we're not qualified for this one because my qualified calculator said I wasn't based on the wages, but I am qualified for 2 and 3, right? We exclude PPP. So we'll just throw something out there just for classroom purposes. All right. So boom, and we're qualified for 4. All right. So those are the wages. You say you had 3 employees. Those are the quarters you were qualified for. And so to come up with this total right here, so you can't go over 10,000 per person. So if you notice, if we were to add these 3 up, it actually comes out to 14,600. But you only could get up to 10,000. So you're only going to, the formula will only put 10,000. It will not allow you to go over. All right. Now, to get the estimated credit, how much you would be entitled to, you would actually take this 10,000 times 0.5%. And if you strolled over to the right here, it would say, okay, for 2020, this is how much you qualify for credit, 11,500. So the IRS will cut you a check for 11,500 because you would put that number on your 941X. So let me bring that up because I forgot to bring the form up. So you would go to your 941X form. Always make sure you get your forms from the IRS because you get the latest update. You will put in your company's EIN number. Get that from your tax form, right? You put the name of your company. Just making something up. Make sure you put in the address. I'm just making something up. Don't get all bent out of shape. Making some numbers up, making up a state, don't matter. Right? And then you would check 941 here because you're making a correction to the 941. And then which quarter that you're going to go. You have to do each quarter separately. Do not combine this number. So right here, this is quarter 1, right? I mean, quarter 2. So you go back to your 941, and quarter 2 is April through June, and you would check that block. All right. Then you would come down to part 2, and one or two things going to happen. Either you want them to adjust employment taxes for the future, right? Maybe you want them to apply the credit. Maybe you have a liability out there and you want them to reduce down your liability, or you want to check, which means you check block 2. That if you check that block, they're gonna send you a check, a refund check, or they're gonna direct deposit it, one of the two. Then you're gonna come down. Part 2, number 3, you're gonna check box 3. You're gonna say I certified that I filled out or will file W-2 wages and tax statements or form W-2C to correct wages and tax statements. as required, but you may have already filed that, so you may not have nothing to worry about. All right. Come all the way down. You either going to do 4 or 5, and you probably want to do 5D because the claim is for federal income tax, Social Security tax, Medicaid tax, or additional Medicaid tax that did not withheld from employees, right? So you want to go and do 5D. Let's keep it moving. Make sure you put your name here. It's a signature block. So you put your name here, not your company name. And then you make sure you put your EIN. It has to be on all the pages. Y'all know how they are. They will kick it back. The calendar year you're correcting. So the first year we're doing is 2020. Okay. And right here, the quarter, you put 2 because we're on quarter 2. You won't have anything else on this page. Is it this one? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You go right here to 18A. Now, this amount is calculated by the total wages times 0.14. So our total wages for the quarter is 64.50. Let me just use a little block, see if it'll let me do it. So 64.50 times 0.0145. That's the Medicaid, Medicare tax. So that $93,052, you would put that here. 93. What I say 93.52? 93.52. Well, you should probably say 53. So 93.53. And you put it in the first column. You would put it in the second column. And you would put it as a negative number here because that's how you document a credit on the federal form. Then you would go down to, so that's 18A. And then you would go down, unless you have family leave, but most of the people that I know that I'm talking to, they don't have all of that. So they just have just the regular payroll. Then they not really interested in doing that part either. So you would come down right here. You put that 93, negative 93, 53 here in 20, column 23. Then you would go to 26. In this part right here, the credit. So let me go back here and remember our qualifying, our credit is the 11,050. So you would put that there, 11,500, 11,500, and then you would do negative 11,500. Oh, yeah, 00. And then you would scroll down, and then you would subtract 23, or you combine them, you add them up, 23 and 26C. So that would be negative 11,593.53. And then you would come down, right? And you will see if 27 is less than 0, if you check line 1, this is the correct amount you want to apply as the credit to your 941 or your 941 SS for the tax period in which you are filing the form. If you're currently filing the 944s, employee annual federal tax return, then you got to go to the instructions. You can check line 2, and this is the amount you would want a refund or abated. If 27 is more than 0, then this is the amount you owe. That's why you have to make sure you put negative in front of it. Because if it's a positive, if you put a positive number, you forget to put that negative in front, then you messed up because now you telling them you owe them money, right? So make sure you put that negative in front, okay? Don't mess up. All right? Because we know negative number is less than 0. All right. Let's keep the party rolling. Don't forget to put the name of your company. I mean, your name here on that page. Same thing. Make sure you put your EIN number here. Make sure you're still in the quarter. Make sure you put in the year there. And you don't have to do these lines here. That's it. That's all you have to put in. And oh, I'm sorry, got to finish it out. All right, put your name here, and I'll probably do a cleaner video with this. This is my first time going back through it, so a little choppy, but we'll get it right. Do it a couple times, and then the note, what you can put here as your note, so that they can know why you are doing this credit, right? You could say adjustment made due to the ERTC credit, or you could say that income in the second QTR for 2020 is 20%, or 20 or 50. I think it's 20%. 20% less than the same quarter the same quarter of 2019, allowing me to claim ERTC. And then you say no wages have been used for PPP forgiveness in this quarter. Bam. And my friends, that is it. Any questions? So I just gave you a full scenario on how this works. You put in your your revenues for the quarters, 19, 20, and 21. So you're comparing 19 to 20 and 19 to 21. Tells you what quarters you qualify for. Then you go to your payroll report. You list out all your employees that fall within the dates that you did not get PPP forgiveness. So you would put all of their names here, right? And you would put their wages, and it would automatically calculate for you, right? Now, what was I gonna say? So some people will have one employee, some people will have 20, some people will have, like we have 107. Just depends on what you have. Everybody's gonna be different because your pay, your revenues are different and your wages are different. You just have to make sure. Now, these sheets do not go with the 941X. You could file it electronically or you could mail it in. You don't have to send in. You could just send the 941Xs and it into the IRS. You don't have to send your payroll reports, but what you want to do is you want to keep everything together on file for your copies. That's your supporting documents. So you'd have your payroll details report, you'd have your 941s that you originally filed, and you'd have this 941X. You could also include it where your W-2s and your taxes are. Just put it all together. So if you would audit it, then you'd have your supporting documentation. Any questions? Any questions, Jermaine? I don't know if you pay payroll or not.
No, not presently. I'm not paying payroll, but I'm just paying attention. So when I do start paying payroll, I know what to do.
Right. Or you may have some buddies who might have a business that had employees that might not know. And
Right.
they may have worked throughout the pandemic, because we have usually when I give information, it's usually to the, folks that we know, smaller businesses that has employees, maybe they doing some different type of contract work. I mean, it could be any industry. It got 3 to 4, 10, whatever employees, and they just don't understand the information. And so, maybe their accountant didn't tell them, or maybe they just haven't been paying attention, or maybe they heard but they wasn't sure. So this is for you guys out there. You could take this, you could take your revenues and you can schedule them out like we did here in this sheet right here. You can schedule out, you can say, okay, how do I do this, myself? Now I'm going to tell you, tax preparers is going to charge you 20%. And it takes time to do this kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to show you how you could do it on your own, right? Just pay attention to your dates. If you got PPP, pay attention to your dates. If, anything outside of what you were forgave, and how do you know? Well, you go to your PPP forgiveness application and look at the dates. And anything outside of that you qualify for, you could claim as a credit, right? So the privileges to those who have the employees, right, and pay people. So you schedule out your income. What did you receive in 19? What did you receive in 20 or 21? And then you go here and you could, you could do it on your own. This is a regular manually done Excel spreadsheet. This one too. If you want any of this stuff, you're gonna have to send me a cash app. Put your email. I'm not gonna just give it to you. I'm explaining. I've given you enough. People are charging a lot of money to do this stuff. So, but I figured I'd just go and help y'all out. It's cool. If you could do it on your own, do it. I'm not trying to do it for anyone, but I'll give you the information so you could do it yourself. And this helps you out. Like if you can't do this, something's wrong. Gives you a full understanding of what qualifies, what don't. Calculations are already there for 2020, the quarters in 2020. So when you put your revenues in, you may not have this high of a number, but whatever it is, check it out. You never know. At a minimum, you get something back. That's money you didn't have. You're looking up for startup capital, things of that nature. You're looking for, grants. Give yourself a grant. If you pay people, now here's the kicker. If you give somebody a 1099 at the end of the year, they're not employees. Stop asking that question. There's no such thing as a 1099 employee. 1099 individuals are contractors. The other question, self-employed, not qualified for ERTC. So let's go through it. Maybe, okay, you say, okay, well, numbers, not a numbers person, show it to me in writing. All right, so I'm gonna use the QuickBooks guide. I like the way they break it down, right? They say, what is the employee retention credit and why is it important for business owners? The employee retention credit is a refundable tax credit intended to encourage business owners to keep their employees on the payroll and maximize the number of workers filing for unemployment benefits. Minimize the number of workers filing for unemployment benefits. The credit is computed differently for 2020 and 2021. For 2020, the credit is equal to 50% of qualified wages that eligible employers paid their employees in a calendar quarter. And qualified employees can receive a maximum credit of $5,000 per employee. Listen, you were out there, you did your thing, you kept your people, you still had work, you were paying them. Man, you guys, hopefully you've already applied and you got your dollars. I hope you did. But if you did not, listen, it's available for you. 2021, the tax credit is equal to 70% of qualified wages that eligible employees pay their employees, and Qualified employers can earn a maximum credit of $7,000 per employee per quarter or $28,000 per employee for the year. Who can't use that? But you have to qualify. Unlike Paycheck Protection Program, loans, and other small business relief options, businesses of all sizes are eligible to receive the ERC. And because the ERC is not a loan, recipients will never need to repay or seek forgiveness for the ERC. Ding, 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 ding. Very important. Calculate your ERC amount can get a little complicated. Don't worry, we'll walk you through it. Use the tax credit estimator to calculate your potential ERC amount. So here we go. How much money could you get from the new tax credit? All right, let's run through three personalized estimates, looking at the tax credits and a deferral. The first one, employee retention tax credit up to $5,000 per employee. Leave tax credit covered missed work for a broad spectrum of COVID-19 related reasons. I should have added that in because we had, I think, about 5 people that took leave and we had to pay them. I think I'm missing out on something. Let me go back. The Social Security tax deferral helps you keep more money now and defer payments to later. Okay, so we didn't do anybody for the tax referral. So, all right, so let's see. These estimates of relief available, but other factors may impact eligibility amounts. Make sure to check the IRS guidelines on specific rules and how to apply. Check it out yourself. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the simulator. All right, let's get started. So when reduce, oh, stop that. I messed up. All right. So the employee retention credit under the CARES Act amount. Claims credits up to $5,000 per employee for all calendar quarters. When reduce your federal employment taxes whenever you process your next payroll. How do I claim the credit? Report qualified wages on your federal employment tax return, usually Form 941. Let's get started. Let's go to next. We use the simulator. First, about employees. Did you have employees at any point during 2020? An employee is anyone your business gives a W-2. It includes full-time and part-time employees and paid interns. Refer to the definition for details. So let's go to the definition. Oh man, it didn't go for me. But anyways, the definition on the IRS website, it'll tell you that if you direct employees when to come to work, you know, what their duties and responsibilities is and all that great stuff, then they're considered employees and then they're W-2. If you do not, and that person makes up their own hours, their how-tos, and you give them a 1099 at the end of the year, then they're independent contractors. Let's not get that confused. If you give them a 1099, they're not employees, and no, you cannot apply for the credit. So if everybody that works for you, you give a 1099, you can't apply. If everybody that works for you, or some of the people that work for you, you give a W-2, then their wages qualify. So you say, I had employees at some point in 2020, or you had no employees. So if you had no employees, it would say, boom, you are not qualified to claim the employee retention credit. Don't be disappointed. The leave tax credit will help any type of eligible business, including self-employed, get back money for work missed during COVID-19 or related businesses. And that's where, and we'll come back to that one. That's where some folk say, hey, maybe you didn't have employees, but if you had to shut down, and you had to miss work, your company wasn't open, then you could be qualified for something. All right. So I'm going to go back and I'll go over that one. Oh, man. What did I do wrong? Messed up.
I saw a leave tax credit, huh? Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, now I gotta try to get this up back to where it was. All right, let me go back. So let's see if you had no employees. We had to come back to that one, but we're gonna do employees for right now. So let's go next. Did you receive PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, under the CARES Act? We say yes, most people did. Did you repay the PPP loan on or before May 18, 2020? And some people know they didn't repay it. So we're gonna say no, because most people didn't do their PPP till way after that to get the forgiveness. So if you say no, they're gonna say you're not qualified. So let's go back and see. Yes. All right. So comparing business revenues for the same calendar quarters from 2019 to 2020 has revenue dropped by more than half, if any quarter this year. So here's some examples. Let's click on it. Oh, it's not giving me my links. That's cool. We don't need to worry about it. So we can say yes, it drops for more than half, at least one quarter, because our scenario told us that. So boom, here you go. In 2020, what is the earliest calendar quarter that your business revenue dropped by more than half? For the following example, the earliest a drop by more than half occurred is in quarter two. So here's the revenues for 2019, quarter one, quarter two, over 100,000. 2020 revenues for quarter one, 70,000. So it decreased by 30%, right? So that's more than half. And then in quarter two, it decreased by more than 50%. And guess what? They qualify for that one as well. So they'll be qualified for 1, 2, and let's see 3. 3, it decreased by more than 60%. So qualify. And quarter 4, they qualify. All right. So all of them decrease more than half. Let me see the top one. No, just the second, the third, and the fourth, because the first quarter was only 30%. So let's choose one. So the earliest quarter was quarter two. All right. Now, my earliest quarter recovery. All right. So how the recovery works is that the following quarter had to have decreased by at least 80%. So the reason you're not qualified for quarter one or quarter two is that it was only 45, but you see 3 and 4 was more than 80%. So the earliest quarter that's more than 80% is quarter 3. And that's why I say recovered. It's the average number of full-time employees from prior year 19. If you started your business in 2022, use the monthly average number of employees for the months your business was operating this year. Include yourself if you give yourself a W-2. All right. So I'm gonna say we had less than 100. For quarter two, April through June 2020, enter the qualified wages and expenses paid to all employees There is a maximum limit of 10,000 in qualified wages per employee for each year. Include furlough, full, and part-time employees. Exclude wages and healthcare costs your business receive a credit from. So if you already received a credit, don't include that in there. All right. So boom, this is how you document all your wages. So you list all your employees, you list the total wages during that time period. You exclude the health plan if they have, if not, and then there's the qualified wages, because remember, right, you could get up to the 10,000. So basically you carry that 4,000 over. It's this 85 plus the 700, carry that over. The 9,800 plus 700, you can only get a max of 10,000. So that's why the next couple people is 10,000 only, and so on and so on. Total qualified wages is 33,900. So that's just scheduling them out. You put 30,900. And then the third quarter, same thing, schedule everything out. Same rule applied, not more than 10,000. Schedule these, bring them all over. Let's see. So you got your qualified wages column, and then they put in the credits and all that great stuff. So let's scroll down. 82. And boom. This is how much you would get back from the IRS. $21,050. Right? Boom, bam, and ping. And that's how it works. So that was the simulator that helped you out there. Makes it real easy. All right. So I think if you have a hard time understanding on how to get all these numbers, that's why you just get a spreadsheet that'll just do it for you. And all you got to just do is throw in the numbers. It's a lot of reading, and sometimes if you don't have that accounting niche, you don't feel like sitting there and listening to all of that. You say, okay, give me a spreadsheet. Let me pop in my numbers. Let me know if I'm qualified or not. I put down my employee wages. I see my credits that I'm going to get, boom. And I filed my 941, which is what we did here. And you only, as you can see, you're only filling out 2 boxes, and that's 18 and 26, along with some of the other stuff we talked about earlier. Kind of simple to understand, Jermaine, with the spreadsheet.
Well, not so much the spreadsheet, but the explanation of the tax credit itself. Yes, that's understandable. But that would take some time. Me learning these spreadsheets, because I never did a spreadsheet before.
Well, this one's already done, and it's protected, and it's locked in.
Oh, so that's why you were saying the donation would be
yes. Yes, it'll cash up donation, you get it for free. You don't have to do it. Now, you could create this on your own. So if someone wanted to do this, like, you know what, I could create this on my own, and I ain't a little selfish person, so I'll show you how to do it, how to come up with your numbers by yourself. You can go to Google Spreadsheet, and go to Google Spreadsheet. As long as you're not including employees for your PPP, you'll be all right. You can go here and you can say, employee.
You see how that's all blank? That's a blank canvas.
Yeah. You can say employees, you can say wages, or you can say pay dates. Let's do that. It might help you better. Let's do pay dates. And then we're going to say wages. And then what did I want to do? Okay, we say wages, and then we'll do qualified. Qualified. Oh Lord, how many eyes I got over there? Qualified wages. And then we'll do, and then I'll make sure I put in parentheses here, not to exceed 10K. And this would be for year one. Remember some of these sales, these are formatting down. There we go. The text. Wrap my text. There we go. Boom. And then this would be tax credit. And in parentheses, it would be, I'll put QW times 0.5%. That show you work. Or maybe I spell it out because some people will get all besides themselves. So hopefully you guys are following. Sometimes this is very tedious to talk through. So you have to kind of take your time, and people just have to have patience, because you got to understand what you're doing. You can't just be out here just doing anything. And I like to just take my time. And if you stick around and watch, it's cool. And if you don't, guess what? You miss out. And then you be crying. They'll never give us no money. We always gonna do whatever. Somebody broke it down. You just didn't have no patience. All right. So we'll see. John Doe number one. Number two. I'll just do a couple people because we're gonna do a whole big scenario. All right. So let's say you got 7 employees, and let's say you kept your workers. They were still working, and this would be for 2020. So this would be 2020. All right. Put that in the middle. Do it like that. All right. So let's say the pay date was April 10th, 2020. And let's say you got, copy and paste. All right, because let's say you got your PPP. Let me insert a row here. Let's say you received PPP forgiveness let's say you received it from May 20th. No, let's do June 4th, 2020 to 09/30/2020. All right. So that means that anything, so you will qualify for the second quarter. And then, so second quarter to quarter is April 1st through June 30th. All right. And those are 2020. So that means that you're qualified for Let me insert another line. Oh, darn it. Put it in the wrong spot. So that means that you're qualified for you qualify from the second quarter, April 1st, 2020 through April 9th, 2020. And that's it for the second quarter. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, does that make sense, Jermaine?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, I want to make sure that I highlight that because this.
Trying to see, the issue with me is the navigation of the buttons that you use. So that's where the confusion comes in. I understand how you blocked it out with the gray, and you put all the employees down there, and then you put everything up top. So yeah,
Right.
It's
and
just a matter.
Go ahead.
Just a matter of navigating the tools.
The Excel. Oh yeah, if you will create your own, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to. I think I'll do a little Excel class one day, just a version, so people can see how to do this simple little pieces. So the important part is to know that okay, yes, I got PPP, yes, I got forgiven for part of the second quarter and third quarter. Do I have opportunity for the credit because I did pay employees from April 1st through June 30th, but I only was forgiven from the 4th of June through September. So really the 4th to the 30th in the second quarter. But you paid employees from the 1st to June the 3rd. So from the 1st to, oh yeah, let me do the other part. So it should have went from this date to this date to June 3rd. Yep. So all of this payroll from April 1st to June 3rd, you qualify for. So you would pull your pay dates out. Now you could do it one or two ways. You could do a payroll report by pay date, which I recommend you don't do because it'll take you longer, or by payroll date range. And at that point, this will pull up only payroll or a summary of total payroll for the date range, right? That's what you want to do because you don't want to go, but if you had to put all your pay dates in, let's say you pay once a week, you would have to, I know Alien Garfield, you would have to put all of those pay dates down. But if you do a pay range, right, then you would have one date, right? So it would be like this. You would put 01-2020. 2022 06/03, and your payroll system will pick up all the payroll in between. And then this way, you don't have to list this stuff many times, go back and check. You'd have all your names and all the payroll. And then, it will give you your wages. And I'm gonna just throw some numbers out there. For that whole pay period. right? Now, that's how much your people would actually have gotten paid. Okay? So that's your total payroll for that time period. Now, oh, now, oh, you want to act funny now. All right. So now you say, okay, now how much of this payroll is qualified? Because remember, they're only going to give up to 10,000. So up to 10,000, that means all of these amounts are qualified. So you just copy and paste that over, and you could only get up to 10,000 for this person. So you do it like that. So now your qualifying payroll is this number. All right, so we're looking at this group here for the credit, to bounce the credit off of those numbers. And so for 2020, did my phone just die? Oh, damn it. All right, give me 1 second. Let me find my charger. I sure don't want to go over because I got therapy. And this time is passing me by. 6:45. I got a little time. All right. So now to tax credit, to determine the tax credit for the qualifying wages, let me make sure I put QW behind it so you can know that that's referring to that. All right. So now this is the money bag right here. This is what you're getting back. Oh, that color might be a little bit too bright. Do purple. All right. So now this group right here, I gotta give me a workbook written. I think I'll be putting out some good info. All right, so now you would do equal, you would click that block, and you would say times, which is the asterisk, 0.5. And then all you gotta do, yep, I love Google Docs. It just helps you out. Autofill, right? Or you can just, if you're uncomfortable, just go in each block and see if it multiplied the numbers out. And it did, right? All the way down. Bam, bam, bam. There it is. There it goes. Oh. And boom. And this is your credit in green. 17,080, right? And if this is the only quarter you qualify for, now that you've done the math on everything, you only had 7 people and maybe you didn't pay payroll in the other quarters. And you're like, man, this is the only quarter I get. Well, guess what? Could you use $17,080 right now, Jermaine?
Sure could.
Right? You ain't got to pay it back. You got to, hey, this is money that they say, hey, we're going to hook you guys up. You did the right thing. You kept people on payroll. This is how I'm going to hook you up. Bam. There it is. And you just go to your little 941. You have 941X. You have an issue and you're using a payroll company, QuickBooks, they'll help you. They'll walk you through it. Make sure you fill it out right. You just come over here, put in your EIN, put in the name of your company, put the address in, choose 941, choose the quarter that you're of interest, which is the second quarter. Oh, I forgot to put it right here. The year that you're correcting is 2020, right? And the date you discovered your error. Since we're doing today, we just go ahead and put today's date. You have 3 years to file this credit. 3 years. So that's why you could still do it right now. Right? It's 2022 and we're correcting 2020. So that's only 2 years ago, right? So that means we still have opportunity to get that credit in. So if you haven't done yours yet, guess what? You still got time. You still have time. All right. Come down If you want them to adjust your taxes, maybe you owe taxes, boom, you can apply it to your credits. Or if you say, hey, listen, I need my check right now, let me get it, go on and click block 2 so they can give you a direct deposit if you do it electronically or check in the mail. Then you're gonna come to 3 because you're gonna say if you paying people, you did W-2s, so you have that on file. So you check block 3, and then you come down to 5, check block D because you want to make sure you applying that to the federal taxes, Social Security, and all that great stuff. Make sure you put your name in the top block, EIN number, calendar year, and the quarter that you're correcting. Come on down to block 18A. This amount right here, you take your credit amount. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. You take your credit amount times 0.0, 145. And note this right here is 1.45%, which is your Medicaid. I think it's Medicare and SSN tax. Let's make sure I got that right. Let me go back up. You go to your 941 regular. Make sure I said the right thing. I want to give you guys the wrong information. Oh, I went to the wrong thing. 941, not the X. I just want the 941. 941. I always go to the IRS form. Right here. This is what I'm talking about. Right up in. No, that's not one way to go. Hold on. Let me go back. Let's go here and let's go to instructions. You could pull out the instructions because you need the worksheet 2 and 4 to get that number in 18A. Let me go all the way down. I'm gonna go to worksheet 4 right here. This number right here. So yeah, it's your Medicare wages tax. That 145%. That's what that is. Medicare wages. So just the Medicare wages. Wage tax. And that's this number. So that's this number right here. And so you take that 1780. I'm sorry, no, you take the wages, qualified wages times 0.01545. And boom, this right here is 18A, 18C. And then when you put it in 18B as a positive number, and then 18C, make sure you do as a negative number. Because negative saying they owe you, positive saying you owe them. Keep that in mind. All right. So if I put that 49532 here, change this number. And you put a negative minus 49532. Boom, there, right? So that's your 18A, right? Oh shoot, I said that wrong. Hold on. This all goes on 18A. And then you got column 1, column 2, and column 18A, column 3 is a negative number. There we go. So this number is a negative number. All right. So that one's 18. And then when you go to 26A, 26A is the credit, which is the 1780. So this changes out, 17080. 17,080. Negative 17,080. Like that. All right. And then that's 26A. I'm gonna do the same thing here, except for it's gonna change this number to 26 and 26. And that's what this one is right here. That's column 26, 941X. Because we don't need those numbers right there. All right, and then 20, stroll down, and then 27A is you subtract. Add those up. So you add this one and this one. So it will be equal that plus that. Oh, that minus, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. It should be subtract. Yeah. Take 26. If 26 combine the amounts on line 23 and 26C, if 27 is less than 0, then you check 1, and then if it's more than 0 and it's less than 0, so right here, that negative number, bring that down like that. All right, like that, boom. And then you're done. You have to subtract that, I think. Make sure I got that right. That number. Yep, 1780. 17, I'm supposed to add that up. 17,7, 17,545. 17,545.32. Boom, there it is. And that's your credit, and you're done. And you've done it on your own 27. There it is. There you go. Marinate down there for a second. I'll be right back. And that's if you put it in on your own. All right. So now, not too bad, right, Jermaine?
Not bad at all. Very good.
See how? So you can take something very complicated and make it very easy to understand. Once you got the gist of the qualified quarters, which is the biggest hang-up, once you understand your dates, if you have employees, it's not difficult for you to come up with what they owe you, because all you're doing is taking those wages and multiplying it either times 0.5 or 0.7. So now 2020 is 0.5. And then I'll put 2021. And then whichever quarters that let's just assume everything was the same. Just to classroom purposes only. And I was to come to 2021 and I was gonna do, so this would be, let's just say PPP was the same time period just to save time, but you would use your own dates that you have, that you qualify for, but we just, to save time, we'll do it like this. And the only thing changes here is that the 0.7, so boom, that's the only difference. Yep. And see, all my numbers is already there. So see how you create your own spreadsheet? It's already done. So you can fact check yourself. You can fact check yourself on this stuff. This is if you have small payroll, you have a few employees, you still qualify. Check those dates. It's all about checking the dates. If you're dealing, and I put this out for people who kind of understand this stuff, and have some people that, we got people who have lawn care services, electricians, cleaning services, construction, general contractors, and they have payroll and they have people, and they don't know. Their tax preparers are not even sharing, not even telling them. If they haven't gotten their credit yet, that's the first thing you have. Hey, you got some employees? Hey, have you applied for your credit? And then, man, I didn't know nothing about I heard about it, but I didn't think I qualified. Okay, well, let's see. My homegirl, give me a spreadsheet. Bam, let's put your information in. Let's see if you qualify. What are your revenues? Some people don't like to give up their information, but hey, if you go, win in this world, it's the only people that get favors, those who do business. You're not doing no business. Ain't nobody giving you no favor. You're not stimulating the economy. Why they should be giving you money? The closest you're gonna get is a little stimulus check. You're gonna be upset. Well, why they give the corporations all that money, but we don't get anything? Well, you don't own anything. You own the assets. Ain't no favor. You're not doing anything for anybody. You're not paying the employee. You're not giving any taxes back. So why should they give you some? I'm thinking about it wrong, Jermaine? Right, like this girl, silly. That's how I look at it. Can't get no funding if you didn't know. Now, I'm gonna give y'all. I think I have time. So I think
right now. I really think you're the Oracle.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I think you're the Oracle.
So check it out. So Jermaine understands it. He was organically listening in, brand new, didn't know anything about it. And I think he grasped a little something from it, right? Am I right? All right.
You're right.
So the rest of you guys, I'll probably do it again. Who knows? I wanted to show one more deal that I learned. And this is from updates on the WIOA program. And if you have employees and you're trying to benefit, let me show you what they did to this program. Let me see if I should go the market moving. Let me see if I should go to the Department of Labor first. Let me see if it's giving me the information. Let me show you how you guys can benefit. When they put in, people like to argue and fuss about the different bills and which party is doing what. But y'all, listen, just follow the money. It don't matter which one of them is in there. Follow the money. See what's going to work for you. The only way you know who's doing what is if you can benefit. And you don't know if you benefit if you don't know the information. So I knew about WIOA in reference to paying for kids' school under the age of 26 or if you're a dislocated worker, right? But I'm about to share something with you. So I'm going to do it like this. Dislocated worker. The dislocated worker program is designed to help workers get back to work as quickly as possible, overcoming barriers to employment when individuals become dislocated workers as a result of job loss, massive layoffs, global trade dynamics, and transitions in economic sectors. The dislocated worker program provides services to assist them with in re-entering the workforce. Keyword. Services for dislocated workers are integrated and provided through a national network of American Job Centers. The American Job Centers provide significant resources to states to implement workforce education, training, and employment programs to help dislocated workers. Keep the party rolling. Rapid response. One service funded under the Dislocated Workers Program is Rapid Response. The Rapid Response Program is proactive, business focused, and flexible strategy designed to respond to layoffs and plant closing by quickly coordinating services and providing immediate aid to companies and their affected workers. Rapid response teams will work with employers and employee representatives to quickly maximize public and private resources to maximize disruptions associated with job loss. Rapid response can provide customized service sites at an effective company, accommodate any work schedule, and assist companies and workers through the painful transitions associated with job loss. Rapid response is carried out by states and local workforce development agencies in partnership with local job centers. Many services are available through American Job Centers, from resume interview, workshops, job counseling, and job search. Keep it going. Trade Adjustment Assistance Program. The Trade Adjustment Assistance Program seeks to provide adversely affected workers with opportunities to obtain skills, credentials, resources, and support necessary to rebuild skills for future jobs. Ding, 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 ding. Any member of a worker group certified by the department may be eligible to receive the following benefits and services at local job centers: training, employment and case management services, job search allowances, relocation allowances, and income support in the form of trade adjustment allowance, reemployment, and alternative, which provide wage supplements for reemployed older workers whose reemployment resulted in low wages than those earned in the trade affected employment, also available. Man, this was one morning you guys did not want to miss. Let me get the part where, let me get to it. I think I need to, let me go back up. All right, so this is for the dislocated workers. And then, of course, they have the youth programs and they pay for your kids to go to school. You got the reentry, you got the career path, you got workforce for the youth. If you got a high school student, I've definitely started inquiring. They can get a summer job. You built all that good stuff, but that's another conversation. That's not the part I want to talk about right now. Let me go back. I think I need to go to, let me get specific. I want to go, I may have to pull up South Carolina so I can show you what I'm doing. Let me pull it up by the workforce. I'm gonna go to, let's go to all right, I'm gonna go here and pull up hours so I can show it to you. All right, where do I want to start the conversation at? Yeah, I always make it real easy to read. Where's it at? No, why? Because I'm looking for it. I should have had kept that thing out. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Let's go right here. Partnership and initiatives. Let me see if it's right there. Workforce development. Basically, what I was going to show you is how you could take the employees you have right now, or you could hire someone and you could put them through the program and train them for a skill set, and they give you half your money back while that person is going through training. Oh my goodness. I may have to come back because I should have saved it because I want to be able to show it to you.
Now that is hot.
Ain't it though, huh? So like if you don't have no employees right now, guess what? You can get some. And go through this.
Give thanks, Monica the Oracle.
Man, but I have to get the right info. I got to get it for you so you can see it. And why am I not? Okay, it's not giving me what I want. Workforce Training Initiative. The Department promotes economic for individual businesses through the workforce training. Let me see if this is it. It's through your workforce. Man, I just had this the other day. I'm going to have to go back and find it. Golly.
Yo, that's crazy. I could be on a job paying them at the same time get my money back.
Yes.
My money back.
Yes.
I paid them.
It's all in the job description. So here's what you got to think about, right? Man, since I can't find what I'm looking for, let me do it like this. Let me go to, okay. There's a reason I like to use federal sites, right? First of all, it gives you a point of reference. It gives you a point of reference for source documentation. And even though some of this information, it really doesn't apply for private business, we don't really know how to come up with our price, wage rates and things of that nature. We just know, hey, as long as I pay you over minimum wage, or at least minimum wage, I'm good. Well, if you really, if you're a company, you're going to be growing and expanding and you want to do right by people, then you want to make sure you set yourself up right. Okay. And you want to come up with your rates and that kind of thing, right? You want to and this is really for just people doing government or contracting, but I like to tell it to people who are doing private business because you really don't know how to come up with this and nobody never showed you and there's no real understanding on kind of what to do, right? You want to come up with your labor rates. Let me go here. Let me see if this is where I want to go. No, let me go back.
I mean, these are like not federal wages, but like I guess like union wages. I would assume that are government wages.
It could be, or if you're a company that does contracting, right, with the government. But I'm using it as a way to say, hey, you as a business, if you don't know how to come up with your rates, you could use these tools where these dollars are out, this information is out there, right? So let's say I put in a general clerk, somebody who just does simple administrative paperwork for you, right? You would notice that there's, different categories. And I put in general clerk and I hit search. Let me see what it came up with. It's going to give me the wage rate for a general clerk. Let me go back up. Hold on. If you put in the educational level, see how it's changing, but I don't think I put in the let's say they just got high school, years of experience. Let's say they got one, right? And you're just trying to come up with the way on how to pay these folk.
Oh, general clerk is making a couple of dollars.
No. I think yeah, here we go. Yeah, but you could kind of look to see, wow, You know, where does the government put this price? Like when they say, hey, what's the industry rate? These are companies out here who have these prices, right? They making a couple of dollars because they doing government work. What I'm saying is that you kind of get an understanding on how you could pay people, okay? How much they, you know, and this includes some other rates, but that's another conversation. But just put in, give me a job title. Cashier. Let's do cashier.
How about painter?
Oh, painter. Painter. Okay, which one?
Construction painter. Oh no. Interior painter.
Interior. This one right here, right? All right. Let's look at it. Oh, they don't really have nobody out there, but it's cool. That's this one. That's this site, right? That's another site. You can always go to something else. It's a couple places you can go to. Interior painter wages. Do it like that. I like the salary .com one. This is ZipRecruiter. They give you the average one on ZipRecruiter. But let's go to how much we could do, and I'm gonna get a good site. I like to use the salary.com one. Just an example. So you can use this site, you can come up with it, give you an idea what's the going rate, right? And boom. And you could even location, give me a location.
New Jersey.
Where? I'm sorry.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay. Let's change the city. New Jersey. Where at in New Jersey?
What they got on there? See if they got anything. Let's just say Camden.
Camden. Bam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, you know, if you really want to get, you know, you want to get technical, this is, so if you got people applying for a job, I'm talking about when you're going to do contract, you're trying to come up with your numbers, how much you want to pay people. You try to be fair and reasonable, and you have to justify it, right? You come here.
I kind of thought that like the government would have some type of painting contracts out there, but maybe that's like private bids or something like that.
Oh no, they do. Let's go see.
God.
Let's go check it out real quick. Always got government, local government, state government. Always got service jobs. Let's check it out. I got about
like
I got a little time. Got about 15 minutes, and I gotta get dressed.
You know, like I guess jobs and contractors. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So if you go betasam.gov or sam.gov, you come to this homepage. You click contract opportunities, and you put in painter or paint. Let's see. Let's see what comes up. We'll see. We need to adjust the word. Boom. There you go. Let's see. Let's scroll down. See what they're working with. See, look, lead-based paint renovation, repair, painting. That's out there. Oh, we got to put the city because we're in a different state. Hold on. Let's see where you're working at. More filters. Location. We already got it up there. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Where all the categories at? See, these just got put out too. Oh, I want to do it by state though. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my filter under control. Because you don't want to be looking all over the world if you're not going to be over there.
Right.
Place of performance. There we go. New Jersey. New Jersey. There we go. All right. And what's the zip code? Oh, well, we could put it in, but we want to get discouraged just in case. It may not be nothing in that immediate. Yeah. Huh?
Let's say 08075.
08075.
Right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't have nothing specifically. So this is what's in New Jersey. And don't look like they have nothing new that came out yet. So that's how you do that.
Gotcha.
Go down. Yeah, or you could say, so yeah, don't look like they're putting that not since 2018. And this is the dates over here on the right. All right. So now you could do this. You could go to paint contracts in New Jersey. Because you may have some state stuff, may have some federal stuff. Let's do solicitations.
On the word.
And you can sometimes you can go to these sites. See how the state may have some stuff. The federal may not have enough stuff, but here's the state. That's an RFP right here. Let's see the date on it. They just put this out. See, 2019, so it's old. You just go back till you see something that, and that's how you search it. You just
you're just doing it for example purposes. So yeah.
Oh, so here's the state website for Jersey. Right. So this website is where they put out their bids. You can see what's available. They haven't put anything out in a while, since the pandemic. So, and as you can see, they put out quite a few. Oh, and here's the key word. Are you lead-based certified?
Yes, I am.
That's a big thing in Carolina. You ain't get no paint jobs unless you got that cert. Yeah. So now
notice the first one, the RFQ for lead remediation contractors. The agency is I know the agency is out of Trenton.
Right. And then check it out, right? So here's another thing you can do. You say, okay, maybe they're not putting them out. So now you got to go see, like, okay, I got some, let me go do some networking. So you find out who the contracting officer is, and you send them a what? Capability statement. You know what a capability statement is?
I do not.
Okay, well, let me share it. And this will be your last tool for the morning. Because I have to go to therapy at 8:30. So capability. All right. So of course, there's all these different examples. There's no right or wrong way to put it together. However, let's see if this PDF is a good template. This is what it looks. This is what the information you need to make sure you have. Right? You got your company logo. So you put the name of your company, address, email, phone number, right? You can put your core competence stuff here. If you have any past performance, put it there, differentials. But this is just telling you what the info you would need, right? So you go to examples, they'll give you some examples of somebody already got one. You can set it up like this, right? Or you could go back and say, okay, I know what they're looking for, and I'm doing a paint company, so I could say, give me a capability statement template for painting contractors. And you could come here to images, and you can look up some and see what people working with. And then you could set yours up. And you could design it how you want, as long as it's readable. But you want to find hold on, let me go back. Because you want to find a company, an actual company who got one already done. So you could see, sometimes it helps you pick up your NAC codes, because sometimes you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. I'm flying through this stuff because I know what I'm looking for. Right? So if I opened up this one right here, You don't need to buy it. You could do this on your own. But what we looking for on here is we looking for wording. So I don't want this one. Hold on. We want somebody who's already done theirs. Because there we
So
go.
you
Because we need
are
to look for these NAT codes, and you need to look for how to kind of help you write yours up, right? So this is a consultant one, and I don't see anything about painting. Let's see.
might have to pay you for a consultation.
Yeah, I usually do this in like 4 weeks, charge a small fee, and you'll be able to put all this together. You'd have everything you need. So when you go out and you market, you'd be ready. So this one,
NAT code. I'm still confused. What is a NAT code?
NAT code, North American Industry Code, that identifies your business. So your industry that you're in. Hold on, I'm mad about this temp. I'm mad about this. I can't find a company. I'm gonna show you that real quick. We got a little time. We got 5 minutes. I can make it happen.
Diligent?
All right, here we go. Let's see. What is this?
I see one A&W painting country. No.
Oh, okay, industry paint. Okay, here we go. All right, so looks like painting that code bear. See, the reason I want to bring them up, the reason you want to look at a few, because maybe let's say your company, I mean, you know what you do, but maybe something somebody else put on theirs that you didn't think about, but you do it too. You see what I'm saying? So like they only got one NAT code, just painting. But I'm searching around and I'm looking to see who I was. And I'm like, I don't really like this design. Let me go find something else. But I'm really looking for these NAT codes because those NAT codes, like I said, sometimes you didn't put everything that you needed, but somebody else has on theirs. Like see, like up here, they have about a whole bunch of NAT codes. So it may be some things on here other than paint that you do and you don't want to miss them and you want to look them up, and I'll show you how to look them up. So, but you can look at their design, see how they have this stuff written out, right? See, there's your core competence, there's your socioeconomic. This is if you did some work with some people, and you can look to see, man, how do I want to get my stuff organized? What would be readability? I'm gonna show you mine. And this is preliminary stuff that if you want to start expanding, you want to get more contracts, you want to go straight to the contract now, just like we just seen, okay, there ain't no contracts, but guess what? Who's the contracting officer? Because maybe they're looking for more people and they just haven't put it out. Maybe I can get a PO. You know what I'm saying? So mine, it's kind of look like this on paper too. So I have my company logo. I have this. I have to put up my new number, which is the EAI number, the SAMs, and boom, here's my net codes. So if I gave the capability statement, I give it to contracting officer, they go right here. They see if they got work in this area. Say, yo, Lamb, let me hire you. I want to do da 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 da. Okay, cool. Here you go. Bam. You know I'm good for it. You go check my SAMs, all of it's there. So if you want to find your NAT codes, you want to go back here. See, this my lane. Y'all got the investment thing down, but this my right here. This is what I dwell.
Well, honestly, this is helping me in my business. Otherwise, like I told you before, I've been word of mouth for quite some time. So
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Next codes, NAT codes. So you just do it like that because you get new. You go to the North American Industry Classification System. And I like to do it with this one because when you do your SAMs, it asks you for the CIS and also the PIS. So I'll put all of mine on my deal, right? And it cross-reference and it helps you. So if you was to put in, let's just say you want to just put in painting, general contractor, all of that good stuff. And boom, these are your NAT codes, and this is what it refers to. Makes sense? So you have different type of painting, you got different NAT codes, and you just need to make sure you know them all that applies to you. Right? What's wrong? What's wrong?
No, I'm just in awe. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's say this one right here. If you was painting walls, cover automotive painting. Let's say you was doing this, right? The 811. So you say, what is my IIC? You view that one, just click there and boom, give you the NAT codes and AIC. You need to put all of this. All that need to be relevant. because people, they need to see what you do. So everything is driven by numbers when it comes to the government, and it refers to something. A lot of times people start business, they come with these crazy ass mission statements, then don't match nothing. And it drives you crazy. And the reason people get charged a lot of money for consulting, because if we got to go look for all of this stuff and try to make it fit, that's time. So when people like, why I gotta pay 3,000? Why I gotta pay 5,000? That kind of things for those people who are there who charging those kind of prices, because you don't even have the basics down, and I gotta go look for this stuff. Oh my God, right?
Mm.
So we do a lot of stuff in transportation, right?
So essentially, it's like a company's resume.
Yes,
a quick
the capability statement is. Yes, it is. And it tells them everything on one sheet, and it shouldn't go longer than one sheet, right? So transport. So let's say let me see, somebody called me about non-emergency medical transportation. That means they were doing special needs, and they also doing ground transportation because they have passengers, right? So you stroll down, look for the one that's the ground transportation, or the ground transportation and passengers. Boom, right? They either doing shuttle or they doing taxi, whatever. Just put them all on there, right? And then so now you have your NAT code for transport. You have it whether you're doing local or suburban transport or you doing local passenger transport. Not else were classified in this, and that's how you list them out on your capability statement. Make sense? Man, boom, bam, ping. I know. Overload this morning. I know they probably like, what's wrong with Mo? She on something today. She just doing everything. Get in where you fit in morning. That's how we doing it. And
I'm tapped in.
yeah, I'm glad you came to talk to me. Give me somebody to talk to or whatnot.
Okay.
I think I gave out some very useful information, and I probably even put some money in some people's pocket. I don't even know. But hey, hope you
Put
learned
some
something.
out there.
Say it again.
Spreadsheet, NAIC code. I mean NAIC codes and DUNS numbers, and I'm like, okay, all right, capability statements, WOI program.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I even threw that in there.
Yeah, he was hitting on all cylinders.
Boom. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Don't be sending Garfield all the donations. He not driving the ship this morning.
Well, hold on. So help me understand. How's brother Garfield connected?
Oh, me and Garfield, we're not. Well, Garfield do his own thing. We just friends. Garfield. I got connected with Garfield in 2016. We were doing the Urban Economic Empowerment Show on Sinetta for like 3 years, and he pulled me and my friend Cheryl in and a few other people, and we used to just give 1-hour presentations on a whole bunch of information. We did it for 3 years on Saturday, and then I just kept it going. We did it on his channel, and I just kept it going while he do his thing with his, Garfield, Hebrew Slayer, or whatnot. But we don't have the same business. We're not business partners or anything. He has his business, I do mine. He do what he do. We don't cross lanes. I don't do what he do.
So he's in
He don't do what I do, huh?
Trading or no?
He probably trading on his own.
Oh, okay.
He probably doing some stuff. I don't know.
Well, I thought he might have been in one of the groups that we're associated with.
He is. He in all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in there. He probably don't say nothing. Every now and then he might say something, but Garfield's in all our groups.
Gotcha. Okay.
And whatnot. But yeah, so let us use this platform to share information as long as it's legal and moral.
Oh, understood.
We put out what we do. Because my channel is live right now too. I'm live. I'm dual streaming, but I probably don't have nobody watching.
Gotcha.
But I do a stream because I have other people that I send to the channel to get information. So yeah, I'll probably cover some of this again. Go a little slower or whatnot. Repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. You know how they do.
Well, these things are saved on YouTube, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yep. So boom. All right, you guys.
All
Oh,
right, have a
4
great day.
minutes over. Got to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and hang out with me.